feeding on his spine, and another
What the
described
fuck?
trumpets playing in their ears before falling asleep.
And the
According
trumpets, they go.
Okay. They
Okay.
request to eardrums without any hesitation, not on purpose, just how we are. So please, turn this video down. And even if my voice sounds normal, turn this video down. Analog coil.
Analog coil.
You wanna do a take two on that one, boss?
Edit or delete that one. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Do that over, boss?
Analog horror. The boy one is going to haunt me every night. Well, it is called the boy one. I've never seen this analog. Red has seen this analog. He has not seen it. And I believe this person's going to explain to us what the fuck is going on. The last analog horror that we watched together was
the Vita Carnes?
Vita's Corners, yes.
Vita's Carnes.
We definitely heard about the Godzilla one, but we didn't watch that together. So, feel me if y'all wanted to see some more analog horror, please. Like, comment, subscribe, and what type of notifications? All notifications.
Let us know. If you put in the comments if you want to see us react to some more. If you have any you want to see us personally react to, let us know what they are.
One thing that comes with all of these cases is that patients have been at home
Oh, that's scary for
watching TV. Watching TV the night the broadcast 813 was aired. Nigga, I read that without skipping a word.
Yeah, you right.
Ugh.
Ain't no way it's supposed to be that big compared to a house. Is there audio?
It's
audio.
just really low.
Oh, it's supposed to be low?
Oh no, I don't think so. I'm just saying it is.
Oh.
I don't hear nothing.
I am normally not one to jump onto the bandwagon, but in this instance, I have seen too many people talking about it, and too many people traumatized by it. I have to. For those of you who are fortunate enough to not know what I'm talking about, here's your chance to run away. The Boiling Man phenomenon. Now, I know I normally always say that I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I actually have not a single clue as to what I am getting myself into. All I have seen is the image, and that's about it. So I suppose there's no time like the present.
Facts.
So let's put on our extra pants and head on into
got
what
one
will
on
more
pants?
than likely change us as people.
But before letting
Oh,
you get
now
too
we're
far,
with
just
fans.
wanted to say if you're new here and enjoy what
Those
you're
like
watching, be sure to hit all those
$20.
deep buttons down below, and be sure to follow us up on our new
So all
second
that's
channel,
$20 on it.
No, like somebody give you
For
$20.
Player,
So
where
where?
we have 3
Yeah.
parts
Yeah,
out
but-
for our new Outlast Trials
Whole day, though.
series.
Whole day.
Anyways, now you can pass through.
That's to do it.
The very first thing we see in this is just a white screen and this squiggly black line, but it's only for about a frame before we get some text. Just letting us know that this is actually legal to watch, and that everyone's identities have been kept hidden per request. I know I said this might change us as people, but this warning message is making me think that this actually might change us as people. Or at least it certainly has the potential to. We are told to make sure we have earplugs, a pencil, a sheet of paper, and a standard Christian Bible open to the specific verse.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite to watch.
That's right. It said,
To watch.
make sure your Bible is open to Psalm
Psalm
91. What is that?
And they're gonna explain why.
Psalm 191.
He's gonna explain exactly what it is. He's gonna explain why it is you have to say that and why.
Okay.
Is
Okay,
this
okay,
a
alright.
fear assessment or some kind of test I'm gonna have to take? Oh, it actually looks like our earplugs are for safety, in case we hear unusual voices in our head. Our piece of paper is also so we can try to ground ourselves into reality by writing down, I can see this paper. I can see my hand. I can't hear the screaming of thousands. I can't hear the feast. I am a
Great.
moving, breathing human being on planet Earth. There is a quick frame where we are instructed to write something a lot more sinister. I can't see this paper. I have no hand. I can hear the laughter of thousands. I can hear the feast. I cannot move, nor do I want to. Okay, so I'm not going to be writing that part down. After writing down this phrase, we are then instructed to recite that one Bible verse aloud. No evil shall befall you, and no plague shall come near your dwelling. It's said that if memories and imagery of something
Well, cross upside
unholy
down, though.
persist in your mind, praying is all you can do. If such an event does occur, we are instructed to call authorities, to which will be administered amnestics, which is some memory-altering drug. Kind of like Freddy Krueger and all the hospital kids. It's also said that many appear to lead a normal life afterwards. Just look at this guy. Seems pretty normal to me. Does everyone have their essential items necessary?
Yeah,
Good.
like Eminem.
Everybody got this shit ready?
Nope.
Yeah, no.
I ain't got no pen. I ain't got no paper. I ain't got no earplugs. No shit. I ain't got no
We
Bible.
fuck. Hey,
I
y'all,
always have
hey,
the Bible.
you know.
Psalms
Bible out, you know.
91:10.
Please, what was the verse?
Thank you.
Hey, no plague.
I should have wrote it down, huh?
We fuck. Hey, I don't want
Wrote
to
it
see
down.
how messed. Yeah, it's up for us.
Because
Shit,
it
this
looks
might be
like
their
this one
last
started.
video. So you feel me?
August 13th, 2003. Tree of
Last
Heaven.
video.
We learn that in the late 1990s, a now classified documentary-based television program debuted from a local station in Pennsylvania. Your average nature documentary, going over plants and animals, and was said to be primarily directed towards kids.
Okay.
I gotta say, something about these stills seem to look
That's
very
my boy
familiar
Steve
to me.
Irwin.
Like
Right
I had
on
seen
Dundee
the show
Fish, right?
before. It said the start of the show
I'm
would talk
thinking
about the
Carl
wonders
Walker
and
Dead.
dangers of nature,
Oh,
as well
no,
as how to
I've seen
protect
that.
yourself from it, and to
Mm.
appreciate it. Sounds like a pretty stand-up guy.
Thank you.
In 2011, however,
Turn it off, though.
the program got taken off the air after the host passed away.
2001,
This makes what
2001.
happens next
Okay.
even more odd. On August 13th, 2003, the 13th episode of this series began to rerun out of nowhere on air. We get to hear the audio for the first couple parts of the episode, but it appears like what we're seeing is a compilation of clips throughout the series. Everything about this broadcast seems normal, almost too normal. However, it is said that during one of the interlude segments, a signal hijacking would take over and begin to broadcast videos of a red melted face that spoke to the viewer.
Ooh.
What the hell? This is something Adult Swim would pull at like 3 a.m. The face is then given its new name, Fen228. I don't know if it's supposed to be said like that, but that's how I'm gonna say it. What's even more disturbing is that clips of live camera feed from hospitals and bedrooms would be overlaid onto the screen to obscure Fens228's face. It's also stated that as many people remember it speaking in English, a ton of non-English viewers can recall understanding every word that it had spoken. What we are about to see next is the restored recording of the broadcast. It said the duration of the clip had been shortened, and the audio had been muffled, reversed, and dampened. This is all said to be
Okay.
necessary to suppress its hazardous attributes. It's very imperative that you all know just how impactful saying what we are about to see next could damage us is.
Ben nigga.
Obviously, nothing shown to
Yeah,
us can
get out
actually
shit.
do us any
feel
physical
me?
harm, but the fact that we are being
Damn.
warned that it
Good.
could is enough to leave me questioning on if I actually want
He
to
was sick.
proceed,
He tried to get
or
up
leave me asking myself if I should actually find some earplugs. The psychology behind it is super fascinating, and this is utilizing it perfectly. What we are then presented with is something that can only be described as pure nightmares.
Ugh.
Almost like a tape found from the ring. This feels like subliminal messages are being forced into my brain. Our creature speaks in reverse, but a quick comment search and we've got a translation. The very memory of my face will
Okay.
cause a manifestation of my being in the future. You will be asleep in bed. I will be there and watch over you.
You?
When you wake, you will not be able to move any part of you. When the doctors eventually find you, they will not see me, but you will. And I'll see you too. Forever, I'll see you too. Now, if that isn't some cryptic ass shit, I don't know what is. It's almost taking that horrific feeling of sleep paralysis and making it even worse somehow.
Basically.
The broadcast we just witnessed has been given the title Broadcast 813. Apparently, about 530 residents throughout the southern Pennsylvania area viewed that segment, and I'm sure there are now 530 incredibly traumatized people with no more will to live. That actually isn't a too far off statement given what we learn next. Aside from the regular paranoia and discomfort Fen228 brought to the people that watched it, there were other side effects that were heavily unnatural. For most people, they were unable to keep the image of Fen out of their minds, and some continued to hear its voice for days after. An anonymous victim claimed that the face was living in his brain and feeding on his spine, and another
What the
described
fuck?
trumpets playing in their ears before falling asleep.
And the
According
trumpets, they go.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Good question, man.
Face was living in his brain. For the face was living in his brain and feeding on his spine.
Is that
crazy.
the whole like can't move or don't want to move shit because feet on the spine type
Yeah.
shit?
Ooh, Dizzy cooking.
Okay.
and
I
another
see,
described
I
trumpets
see.
playing in their ears before falling asleep.
Earplugs.
According to this bit of
Trumpets
text,
in your ears.
these people
Okay.
have no idea what they are in for, and I don't think I am either.
Eminem.
August 14th, 2003,
Oh,
the
three.
Great Northeast Blackout of 2003. In an effort to keep anybody else from seeing this broadcast, all power grids local to the state of Pennsylvania were disabled. Local to the state of Pennsylvania, my ass. The outage ended up spreading to various parts of New York, New Jersey, Ohio, and even Canada. This is now an international blackout, hence the name Great Northeast Blackout of 2003, where almost 50 million people were without power, some not getting it back until days later. So not only did you get a horrific, frightening entity take over your television, you then lose power for a multitude of days. During the blackout, every trace of Broadcast 813 were able to be collected and wiped from existence. Seemingly. This includes news articles, internet posts, recordings, you name it. The cause of the blackout was covered up by a combination of human error and trees falling onto sagging power lines somewhere in Ohio. Okay, we believe you. While they might have thought this would lead everyone to forget about the whole thing, they would soon find themselves very wrong.
Damage had been done.
Aftermath. It's said that 12 days after Broadcast 813 was blocked, a historically massive influx of pseudocoma occurred in the state of Pennsylvania, leaving 509 people affected. What's a pseudocoma, you may ask yourself? Well, it's a condition in which a patient experiences a cerebral medullospinal disconnection, leaving them to be conscious but unable to move or communicate.
Cerebrum medullospinal spinal disconnection.
He's pronouncing the word.
Oh, cerebrum medullospinal?
Cerebral.
Cerebrum.
Medullospinal disconnection. Cerebral medullospinal disconnection, leaving them to.
I think it's cerebrum. Medullospinal. Did he say it already, or did he already say that?
I think he said it already.
Ask yourself. Well, it's a condition in which a patient experiences a cerebral medullospinal disconnection, leaving them to be conscious but unable to move or communicate verbally due to a complete paralysis of all voluntary muscles in the body, except for vertical eye movements and blinking. This sounds like an awful lot like the little cryptic message we got at the start. You remember the thing we were supposed to write down on the paper? Obviously, since this was such an anomaly, the government began its investigation immediately. The only thing in common between the paralyzed 509 victims is that they had all been at home watching TV the night Broadcast 813 was airing. We even see our friend peeking from behind.
Oh, when they play it.
I don't see that later.
Since Vertical Live moved,
what would be such a great analog horror? So, they based one off of the Flash that Pokemon had that made kids go like had to go to hospital and shit.
Oh, the epilepsy?
Yeah, epilepsy shit.
Ooh, that would be a great.
That'd be a fucking great one because it's real.
It's real.
Since vertical eye movements and blinking were still something they were able to function, they were able to communicate through Morse code, which led to over 60 victims being interviewed. We learned that many of these interviews just created more questions, and many held results that required being archived or terminated. However, late into the investigation, the branch was notified of a particularly odd case revolving around this older victim. It said that he was a war vet, already fluent in Morse code, making him the first in line when it came to conducting these interviews. It said that after an odd photo was taken in his backyard, his family became deeply troubled and convinced his house was haunted. Lucky for us, this photo isn't too dangerous for us to see, but it's still recommended we give ourselves a 3 feet distance.
That's the photo.
Now that is quite a tall figure. So did our veteran see the broadcast and become paralyzed? Or did he see this photo and become paralyzed? According to him, he claimed that something horrible and unholy was within him, and would hurt him and possibly others if he described it and what it was telling him. We are now deep into the realm of the paranormal. We get to listen in on a recording in which an officer from the branch interviews our victim. The officer goes on to ask some questions after getting approval from our victim.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions regarding your condition? Did you notice any onset symptoms? Interesting.
Now we have our answer. He did end up seeing it on the television, and then it started appearing in photos around his house. Hey now, I see you creeping up in the back.
I was about to say!
This is something his brain may have created. He responds with something very unsettling.
Do you think this is something your brain has created?
No, it's in the window. When asked to describe the face, he says, horribly burnt, not of Lord Christ. Our victim reports also hearing the trumpets play before he goes to bed. We even get a quick flash of some red Morse code which translates to, nobody but me and you. Our officer glitches out all of a sudden, and our boiling man begins to creep up.
You shedding light on this is helping more than you.
Our sign also has changed to "I can see you." You can see me?
Mm.
Oh. We are then presented with the silhouette of our horrific figure, with text
Ah.
the miracle
I
of
know you
birth,
don't.
a fetal fanfare.
He just vanished.
I'm pretty sure this is the unedited
Ah,
version
shit.
of our broadcast
Yeah.
813. Hold on to your butts, people. After we get all those frightening images, we are warned that if we see this screen, it is not safe to keep watching, and the video ends on that verse repeated over and over. If I had to guess as to what was going on here, in my little bird brain, it sounds as if this Boiling Man entity needed to spread this mass message in order to set things in stone for a later world-ending apocalypse event. Remember back to that reverse message? The very memory of my face will cause a manifestation of my being in the future. Now I could be taking this too literally, but the video segment we saw at the end also talks about how we will hear the laughter of thousands as the sky opens up. It also looks like a good pool of blood pouring on down before a second crack opens up. It definitely is giving off an end of times feeling. It also doesn't seem too far that this hellish demonic entity would be able to take control of a broadcast and mass affect anyone who watched it. And the viewing of this message and the locking of all these bodies could in some way lead history into the right direction, where the skies open up and the Boiling Man is able to eat away at the universe. I love the idea that this is so open to interpretation that even my outlandish theory can somewhat sound plausible. I gotta say, this was certainly an experience, to say the least. I know a lot of people are tired of this found footage is unauthorized for viewing information that's in a lot of analog horror these days, but this definitely took that for a terrifying twist, that viewing this footage could in fact harm you, like it did these other 500 people. I always say it, but analog horror
Did he already
excels when it
explain, like, what
manages
the guy
to
was
make you
saying
feel like you aren't
backwards?
alone in the
Yeah.
room,
Yeah, it was
Okay.
and that something else
I
is
missed it,
watching
that
you
was it. I
outside
mean,
of the
I've seen
YouTube
it,
video.
but-
This video encapsulates that perfectly, with the hidden messages that can be found, some that are obvious, like the sign in the bedroom, and some that are not so obvious, like the 0.1 second flash of Morse code. Needless to say, it successfully managed to add a ton of layers in a short amount of time, to where it certainly leaves you shaken up for a bit after. I wouldn't be surprised if I have to turn the lights on before I go to bed tonight after seeing this shit. But that was the Boiling Man. Be sure to check out the original creator, Dr. Nowhere. He has some other neat horror shorts on his channel that certainly look as horrific as ever.
That
But as
one, I
always,
remember
if you
that
watched all the way until the end, I thank you for watching, and be sure to check out our new gaming channel, 4Play, if
That-
you're interested. We got some fun gameplay going up there hopefully once a week, and
I'll
it's
let you know, you know
definitely a
what I'm
fun time. But other than that, I need to go and buy some night lights before I end up getting no sleep.
That as a what do you call it? Sleeping
Sleep paralysis.
sleep paralysis. That'd be fucking like, hold on.
Yeah.
Especially if like you
The
explain it to
boiled one?
like a person and they be like, wait a minute, they have the same sleeping, like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, wait,
I'm
he
never
look like
sleeping.
this. He got fucking
Yeah,
his,
spikes in his head,
spikes
bird
in his head.
face.
Mm-hmm.
his fucking jaw unhinged,
He 50 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
and he starts showing up. Nigga, it's the showing up in pictures part. That's crazy. Like, imagine you looking at an old photo if you was a kid.
That nigga just in the background of that shit.
Right, behind a fucking dresser or some shit.
Trumpets
What the
would be
fuck?
crazy, nigga. Imagine trying to lay down and go to sleep, all you hear is just trumpets, nigga.
Trumpets?
You like looking around, you're like, what the fuck? Nigga, you go in your living room, who the fuck out here?
Hmm?
Is it like as soon as you lay down, like as soon as you get up, it's gone?
I think you just hear the trumpets all the time.
24/7?
Type shit.
Oh shit.
I think it could be that. It could have been also like whenever you try to go to sleep, they just boom trumpets, so you can't really sleep. Maybe if I remember correctly.
What's the echo? Like, why? Right? I mean, they said to try to make his body, I guess, more physically real. Because I guess it's not physically real at the moment.
Mm.
So I guess spread the message to people so people get more scared or knowledgeable about him. Like, is it a fear thing? Is it a
You feed
knowledge
off
thing? Yeah. Or is it just a knowledge thing? Like, the more you know about him, the stronger you get.
It might be just the more you know about him, the stronger you can get.
And then because of that, he can manifest physically, I guess, instead of just pictures and fucking TV broadcasts.
Well, it's gonna rip open the sky, make that shit bleed one day.
That right? I think that's probably his end goal for whatever the fuck that is.
Whatever that goal is.
Then like,
Flood the earth with blood or some shit.
Well, that was the boiled one. Thank you for watching. Don't hit like, comment, subscribe. Well, to comment, hit like and subscribe. Notifications. 1 second.
All notifications.
All. Cause bro, what the fuck? We got like 98% not subscribed. That's crazy.
It's mad.
Like that's 98%.
Like how y'all watching
What?
and not subscribing? We also got like 90% of people watching and not putting on all notifications.
What is
How
happening?
90% of the viewers on this channel not hitting all notifications.
10%. That's all it'll give us. We give y'all 110%. Let me stop. Thank y'all so much for our love, support, and we shall see y'all next video.
Bye.
Yes.